I think a lot of people have grown up hearing like, oh, you know, reptiles are disgusting, you know, they're slimy, they're gonna hurt you, they're gonna eat you, and like all those things, it's just, it's bogus, like it's not true. And I think when people figure that out, that curiosity, because everybody's always curious about like what they're afraid of. And once they get over that, they're all in, like, and that's how we build communities like this. I think people are really surprised when they start to realize that every reptile, they're like people, like they have their own personalities and habits and things like that. Like that's probably one of my favorite things about keeping reptiles is I love observing them. And they all do, they have their own personalities, they have attitudes, like there's a lot going on in their little heads that I don't think people understand, you know, because they all have their good days and bad days, just like we do. I have a huge passion for reptiles. It started when I was a little kid. I actually wasn't allowed to keep reptiles, but we always had like birds and fish and stuff like that, and I'd always catch like snakes and lizards outside and bring them into the house. That's what drives everything that I do, is my passion for the animals. So.
Now this is a reticulated python. These guys are super cool. They also get, you know, pretty big, but they're more of a slender snake. You know, these guys get up to about 16 feet as well. You know, common misconception with these guys is, you know, they get so big and they're gonna eat you or eat all the animals in your neighborhood and stuff like that. It's just absolutely not true. A lot of times they just wanna hang out in their house and be left alone.
I was breeding reptiles and I was doing a lot of educational shows. That's really why I started this, is I just wanted to spread, you know, how much I enjoyed the reptiles to other people. So, and I was vending other reptile expos and I just wasn't really happy with them, you know, like I felt like we could do more with it. This is our 10th year of doing this, so, you know, I just started doing a reptile expo in St. Louis and it took off, and after a couple of years I just started putting them all over the country, so.
How's it going, boss? Yeah.
So we have a huge team of people now that help put these together. On any given weekend, we could be at 8 different events in 8 different cities in the country. We've got a lot going on. We've got stores all across the United States now. We've got these shows, I'm pretty sure we're coast to coast now with the reptile expos. You know, the number one driver is that passion and wanting to grow the reptile industry, you know, so. You can definitely see ball pythons. Ball pythons are like the #1 pet reptile in the United States. You know, you got bearded dragons, you got leopard geckos, you got crested geckos. Sometimes there's species of monitors. Really, you can see any kind of reptile that's legal to own.
So this little guy is a bearded dragon. These guys are from Australia. It's a pretty commonly kept lizard. You know, they primarily eat like greens, you know, like collard greens and mustard greens, and they eat dubia roaches and crickets. And they've actually got quite the personality. They make great pets. They've got a personality like a puppy dog. So they're super cool. You know, we oftentimes suggest these to, you know, families that, you know, they might have pet allergies or something like that, because they're going to get just as much enjoyment out of a little bearded dragon as they would a small dog. Oh, and he's the one to go explore, so I'm going to put him back before he jumps out of my hand. Oh.
It's definitely kind of a subculture that we've been working really hard to make a mainstream thing, you know. I've always said it for years, my goal is to kind of put reptiles in every house in the United States. I think fear and curiosity really brings people into it, and I've seen it so many times, like whenever I'm working with somebody with like an animal, they're scared. They're so scared, but then whenever they figure out that they don't have to be scared of it anymore. It's like something clicks in their head and they're just like, they want a reptile now. They want a pet reptile. Like, I was talking to a lady in there earlier. She was afraid of snakes, and I seen her walking around a little bit ago. She had bought a pet snake. What I really hope is that our community has gained allies, less people being afraid of the animals. You know, that's the number one thing, is just breaking those stigmas. I would hope that, you know, maybe they take away a new reptile. You know, it is fun. You know, some of these enclosures that you get to build for these guys, it's like you could stick a part of the Amazon rainforest in your kitchen or living room or whatever. What I always encourage people to do is come out, check it out, find something that interests you, and just do tons of research. And when we come back in 3 or 4 months, that's when you get a new reptile.
All right.